Alrighty, everyone. Good morning. My name is Caity. I am so very excited to be back on schedule with our Saturday morning coffee chat. I absolutely love these calls. They've become such a passion of mine. We've been doing these for a few months now, and we're here at the same time every Saturday morning on the same call. And I absolutely have learned a lot from these calls. I've met a lot of awesome leaders with great stories. So I thank everyone who's been involved so far. Customarily, we start out these calls and we just kind of introduce ourselves. So I'll go ahead and I'll introduce myself. Again, my name is Caity. I'm Caity Metz out of Wantage, New Jersey. I've been with It Works for 2 years now. I can't believe it's been just about 2.5 years. I got started, I heard about the wrap from a family member. And I wasn't too sure of what I thought. I had a lot of medical issues, but I had heard about some of our supplements, greens being one of them, which are 8 servings of all-natural fruits and vegetables, really great food for people who have problems with acidity and want to balance their body's pH level. So for me, I was very, very intrigued with that. So I wasn't really looking at this as a business opportunity, but I definitely wanted to try the product, so I went ahead. I did that. I was working full-time in retail, and I was also going to school full-time. So I had a pretty full plate at the time that I got this introduced to me, but I got great results from the wrap, and I signed up because I wanted to maybe earn enough money to cover the product that I would be using, and never really thought much about this being a business for me, but I quickly learned otherwise. I had a lot of interest just sharing my personal testimony. A lot of it was just using the product on myself. I was very, very excited about my results with my wrap, and I just shared that with people anywhere I came in contact with them, whether it was online or in person, and I was able to leave that full-time job. I've been very blessed to also move out on my own. My fiance and I now rent a house. And, things look a lot different now. We have a lot more options than we did when I was just looking for a job right out of college. So it's definitely been a huge blessing for me and our family, and things definitely don't look the same of what they used to look like. So I am just going to turn this over to my lovely co-host, Catherine. Are you there? You might have to hit *6 if you're there. All right. Well, maybe we don't have her yet. All right. Well, Catherine McDonald is a diamond executive out of Michigan, and Catherine and I have not actually officially met each other in person. We've been saying this every week, and soon we're going to not be able to say that anymore. Catherine and I are not on the same team. We had met on a Facebook group that we have for the business, and we were kind of talking about maybe getting started with a call similar to this one. So we met over the phone, and we kind of shared our stories, and her story is a lot like mine, where she was involved in listening about the product, and she was very, very interested in the product. And for me, that was, a big thing. So we wanted to kind of formulate this call to spotlight different stories all throughout the company, so people that are just getting started or maybe taking a look at us for the very first time could hear from people who are out there in the trenches doing this. So I am very excited today because I have a very good friend of mine on the line with me who I work very closely with as well. We are not, again, on the same direct team to each other. We are in the same sort of team, and we work very, very well together. She has an amazing prayer call every Monday morning that totally fills our tank. She is such a great team player, and I'm just so excited to introduce my friend, Jen Qarmout. Jen, are you there?
I am. Thank you so much, Caity. I'm so excited to be on the call with you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. I'm so excited. Okay, Jen, I know a lot about your story. I hear it all the time, and I never get tired of hearing it. So, Jen, do you want to just kind of tell everyone where you're from, and maybe just a little bit of your life previous to It Works leading up to why you got involved in the first place.
Sure, I'd be happy to. So my name is Jen Qarmout, and I am a Diamond Executive out of Green Township, New Jersey. I've been in the company for 22 months now. Can't believe that it's gone so fast. Before joining It Works, I worked in an endodontic practice. I was a surgical assistant and an office manager, and I also lectured sometimes down at UMDNJ in Newark. I worked long hours. I had a long commute. I started my job well before I had children. Before I was married, I was with the same doctors. And it was kind of my first baby, that practice. And we really grew it, and we created another business out of it as partners where we would help doctors coming out of the program to set up their practices. And so it was very consuming. And then when I got married and started having children, it got a little bit harder. We got a nanny at first, and when we had more and more children, by the time we had our third daughter in 3 years, we had our son, and then we had our 2 girls, so our third child. I was working crazy, and I had these 3 babies, and my husband was working crazy. We also had our own business, and he had the business, plus he was teaching at a local college, and it was just a very busy time, and every time one of the kids would get sick or something would happen, it was very stressful because I worked, an hour if there was no traffic away. If there was traffic, it could sometimes be 2 to 3 hours to get back to my babies. And, it was hard, and I kept looking for something closer to my house, but there was really nothing that was even close to the same pay scale because I had been there so long. And in the rural community that we live in, there's really not a lot of jobs, especially in the medical field. So, we had just been praying that something would happen where I could work less hours or work closer to home or something. And as the kids got older and busier, and then 5 years after number 3 was born, number 4 came along, which was kind of a real surprise, and was really exciting. We were very happy, and but only just a few short months after she was born, she was about 4 months old, ever since she had been born, I kept saying something's not right, and I had gone back to the doctor, and they couldn't figure it out, and I ended up going in for surgery, and they found some abnormal cells in my stomach and ended up removing a portion of my esophagus and my stomach because of these abnormal cells, and some of them had come back as positive for cancer cells. So that drastically changed our outlook, and it was no longer that I was looking for something closer to home. I needed to cut back my hours. Like, other things had come along over the years, but this was huge. And my boss was very, very good, and I did cut back my hours, but I still needed to maintain enough hours to cover my kids' private school tuition because that was really our big focus. And we wanted our kids to stay in Christian education. So I was still working down there, but not as often. And, just kind of researching my health and why these things happened. So that kind of leads up. Did you want me to keep going, Caity, into the whole?
Yes. I absolutely love this because I think it's really important to hear kind of like that background to kind of understand how you approached It Works at first and kind of include some of your first thoughts because I think a lot of us could relate.
Yeah. So my friend Kim her daughter was in my daughter's class, and she had mentioned the wrap to me, and I just kind of looked at her, sideways and said, "Oh, that's nice." Too busy for any nonsense like that, whatever, and kind of carried on with my life. And one day she called to ask if the girls could get together. I said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I have an appointment with my oncologist after work today." And she's like, "Your oncologist? What's going on?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's just a typical follow-up. It's no big deal, But and she said, if you have a history of cancer, you should really check out our greens because they alkalize your body, and disease has a hard time living in an alkaline body." And I was like, "Oh, okay, that's nice." And just kind of kept it in the back of my mind, but I didn't do anything with it. And there was another woman who was kind of following me around to different events that my husband was involved in, and she kept mentioning the wrap and mentioning the wrap, mentioning the wrap, and she really would not let it go. And so finally I said, you know what, I will spend $30 to prove you wrong, and I had researched at that point because I'm very choosy now about what I put in and on my body because of my history. And, thank God I didn't have, some of these people, battle cancer. I honestly didn't know about it till after the fact, and there was never any battle. I had the surgery. I do follow-ups, but I've never had, thank God, any issues that have been, traumatic since then. I ended up with 3 surgeries, which obviously is not, easy, but it wasn't, I never had to do chemotherapy or radiation or anything like that. But I am very conscientious of the fact that, whatever I put in my body is what's keeping me healthy. So I'd researched the wraps and kind of looked into it and thought, okay, there's really nothing in here that could be harmful. Yeah, I'll give it a shot. And I told my sister-in-laws, I invited them all over, and I said, just spend $30. I'm like, I'll give you your money back. It's not going to work. We'll have fun. We'll have a party, bring food. It's all good. And the deal was, all right, you wrap me and my sister-in-laws, never mention it again, and we'll stay friends. So she came over. She did the wraps. Everybody got results, and my one sister-in-law was actually a little annoyed. She called me a couple days later, and she goes, you said it wouldn't work. And my daughter, whose wedding was 3 weeks from then, lost 6.5 inches, which I know I'm not supposed to say inches, but it really mattered because she already had her wedding dress with the final alteration, so they had to pay again to have her dress altered again. And then my sister-in-law was like, and she wants 2 more wraps for her thighs before her honeymoon. So she's like, this is costing me a ton. I thought it was going to just be a fun party. So that was when I kind of thought, maybe I should get involved with the business. And then I had remembered, but then she showed the greens, and then that's when I connected the 2 businesses together. I didn't realize that the greens were the same thing as the wraps in the same company. And so I really signed up for the greens, got my whole family on it, and within 2 weeks, my little girl, who was 8 at the time, we noticed right away she didn't have any more asthma. She had severe asthma. We would be on the nebulizer every winter from October to April, and we would still end up in the hospital. And she was on, inhalers and the nebulizer and all these medications. And still, we were never able to fully manage it. And she had gone gluten-free, which had helped a little, but still with the issues. Within 2 weeks of starting the greens, she stopped having these issues. And I was like, wow, what's going on? The only thing we've changed is the greens. We just kept watching it and watching it and watching it. And now we've gone through 2 full winters and a whole summer of allergy season. She has not touched her nebulizer or inhalers. She started running 5Ks. She's done about 7 5Ks to date. She just turned 10. She plays basketball. It has changed her life. She just had a sleepover this week for her birthday, and she would have never done that before because, unfortunately, all the steroids and medications caused her to have bedwetting issues, which, of course she was embarrassed and shy about as an 8-year-old, going into 9, 10 years old. And all of that changed, and it changed her whole outlook on life. And that right there is why I'm so passionate because, it's hard to be a little girl, to grow up and to have issues. And for this one product to have given her health that she never knew, was just, as a mother, all I could ask for. And it was just so exciting to us. And then we've just seen so many other amazing changes in our family. And so 3 months after I did my first wrap and placed my first order, I joined the business. I left my job before I was even making the money. And my husband was like, are you sure? And I'm like, I just really don't have the time to be at work. And all my doctors were wrapping and doing the supplements. And, it was just amazing. So, so I jumped in full force and went diamond 5 months after that. And it's just been the best decision we've ever made as a family. It's been amazing to see my mother-in-law coming off of blood pressure meds, and she's completely off of her cholesterol meds now, and she was on a significant dose of Lipitor, and she's completely off of Lipitor now, and blood pressure meds are at a minimum, and she's doing phenomenal, and she's so diligent about taking her greens every morning. And then also my dad had a prostate cancer scare a year ago, and then had something come up a couple weeks ago because he had stopped taking his greens, and he's like, I'll never do that again. I'll be diligent. He's back on. And the doctor actually looked at the product and said, Terry, you got to stay on this product. It's really helping you. Look at the difference in your labs from your blood pressure and your sugars. And, he goes, green vegetables are phenomenal, and this is a great source for you. So just hearing that confirmation for me was so exciting, and for my dad. He just talked to me last night, and I was really in tears because it's so exciting to hear, that your 70 and 80-year-old parents are having an awesome quality of life because of a simple supplement that is affordable, that they're not going broke trying to afford. And, that's huge, because that was the first question the doctor told him, how much are you spending on these a month? And my dad's like, oh, they're less than $1 a day for a serving. The doctor was like amazed. So, because our parents are on fixed incomes. They're elderly, so having something, again, that is affordable, that gives them an awesome quality of life just means as much to me as having my little girl feel better.
Absolutely. And I just think, and you would think that something with this quality of ingredients would taste awful. And, you have little kids that are on it, that are taking it, and they like it. And, I know that your kids love the chews, the green chew that,
yes,
with the
we have to hide
prebiotics,
them.
and they're stealing them from you.
Yes, I hide them next to my bed. They're in the drawer next to my bed because they were eating too many, and I'm like, they're not candy.
Oh my goodness. I think that's amazing. So what next, Jen? I mean, you have all these amazing testimonies, and what fires you up to keep going, and what does the next, 5-10 years look like for you?
Yeah, definitely. I am really excited. I feel like I jumped into this initially for the financial freedom, and I was attracted to the health benefits, but honestly, it is a ministry to me. I am so excited to share my faith and my passion for health. And, I love that our products are, first of all, they do taste good. You're right. I mean, it's, when you have to hide them from your kids, they're good. And, it's exciting for me that they support our body's ability to be healthy. It's not, they work with our bodies to do what our bodies want to do, and that is a passion of mine, and I want my body to be its best. And I feel better now at almost 41 next week than I did at 31. It's just, and that's exciting, like to feel better than you did at a younger age, and so, and to share my faith. And I do the prayer call because it's such a refreshing way to start the week, and bringing people together and helping people to overcome fear, because I think a lot of people, we live in a scary world, and, I don't know if everybody realizes that you can have a business and a ministry at the same time, and that's really my vision. And just seeing that, 5 years from now, I'm going to have a college student. I can't even imagine, but that I'll be able to, take him to college and not worry about, I hear this month all my friends are like, oh, I have to take off from work to do this, and I'm just like, I won't have to do that. I can take my son to college and still be working my business. And, it's such a flexible business for me that, like you said, I go out and run my errands. I have my cards with me. I wear a shirt that says it works. I get stopped at least 3 or 4 times a week. What works? Oh, are you one of those rap girls? Do you have a card? And it's cool because I can be out with my kids school shopping or taking them to basketball practice or all these things and still, be working my business. I have set times where I work from home, and the kids know, don't come in mommy's office. I've got 2 hours here. But now that they're all 4 going to be in school, my little one starts kindergarten this fall, that'll even be more fluctuating, I think, and easier for them but it's a family business. So my kids actually can come with me. If I'm going to go out to a wrap party, sometimes I'll take one or two of my girls. My son was blitzing people at the mall and answering questions. I walked over, I'm like, can I help you? He's like, oh, no, he's answering all my questions. Like, he knows the products. And he, at 13, he's like, oh, yeah, this is great. This is, I take the Confianza. It helps me with my focus. And, my kids are a walking testimony. So it's a family business. People see my husband drinking his greens at the store. We own a deli, and he'll have his greens in the morning, and they'll ask him. And he's, made some loyal customers from there, making contacts there. So, it's a family business. And so 5 years from now, I know if we decide to take our bus across country again, I can work it. It's going to be good, and I'm just excited again that it's a ministry. I can share my faith, I can share my health, and also support my family.
That's amazing. I love that. And I love your kids. They're so awesome.
Oh, thank you. They love you. They love Pepper.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and just quickly go over how it is that you get started. So if you're taking a look at us for the very first time and maybe you're thinking, I don't know, I just want to give this a shot, what do I need to do to start? So it's $99 right now to get started, and that's a promotional price. It's half off of what the normal price used to be to get started. It's just $99, and when you think about that, a lot of people spend that now back to school shopping. They spend it at the movie theater with their whole family going. For us, at $99, we thought, okay, what do we get with this kit? And you get 4 wraps with that kit, and you turn around and you sell those 4 wraps for $25 or $30, and you make your money back risk-free. And for me, that was a big deal, especially as a college student. Money was tight at the time. I was saving to move out. I was paying for my books, paying for my tuition. So $99 was something that I needed to save up. So what I did was I went out and I told 4 friends about it. And step 2 is going out and telling 4 people about this amazing product that you have your hands on and having them get the opportunity to get the same pricing we get as a loyal customer. So they get the same discount you get as your friends and family. You take it out to them. And for me, those 4 people actually bought their wrap from me ahead of time. I pre-sold my kit. I had 4 wraps in my kit that I knew were coming in. And I had people that were interested in trying it right before I even signed up. And then step 3 is simply sharing the opportunity of the business with 3 people. If you know 3 people, I know for me, I took a look at my friends that were getting out of school that maybe weren't finding jobs, or maybe they were in a job and they weren't making enough to cover their bills, or maybe they had student loan debt. Think about your friends and family. I got in with my family members at the same time, and it's been amazing to work with them. So choose 3 people that you can truly bless them with this opportunity. And if you do that in your first 60 days, if you go ahead and you get your 4 customers and your 3 team members, and then you go ahead and you help those 3 team members get their first couple customers, the company guarantees you a minimum income of $500 in your first 60 days. And that's not a forever thing. That's not something that's going to always be here, but it's definitely a help. I know most people that are going into foreclosure in their house could save their house with just an extra $300 to $500 a month. So think about that. Think about the people that you can touch their lives and really, really impact them with this opportunity and this product. Because as you heard from Jen, it really does change your life, and those are what we call our steps to success. So once you complete those steps of success, that's how we run our business from month to month. Some months you will go ahead and you'll get all of them, and some months you won't, and that's okay. For me, absolutely, it's been a goal of mine every single month. I know Jen runs her business the same exact way, and right now there are 2 amazing opportunities that are only here for the next few days until the end of August. If you go ahead and you get started with It Works today and you pay your $99, you get your website set up, there are 2 opportunities to get out of debt. And the first way that you can get out of debt is called our Good Bonus. It's a $10,000 Good Bonus if you reach the promotion pin level of Diamond in your first 3 full calendar months. You have until the end of the fall to get that done. And if you do that, the company will pay you a $10,000 bonus paid out over 2 years. So you're going to get an extra $400 a month on top of a diamond commission check, which is already pretty substantial. It's $2,000 a month. So if you're a business builder, you're ready to get started with that, there are some great opportunities to get started with that as well. And then the other way that you can get out of debt is really, really simple, and I think that this is something that anyone can do, and it's for the entire company as a whole. If you go ahead and you just get started with one, you go out there, you try the wrap, or you try some of the products, and you get really great results, and you share that with one loyal customer and one team member in the month of August, you're going to get entered to win $20,000 to pay off medical, student loan, or credit card debt. You know, I'm not sure what your situation looks like right now, but I know most people have at least one of those three kinds of debt if they're still in debt. And the company is going to pick 20 people that they're just going to completely wipe out their debt at one time. So think about that. You know, if you went and you got started with these steps to success and you are just getting involved, or maybe you've been involved already, just go out there and start with one person that share this call with them, share this information with them, and I guarantee you'll find somebody out there. And our chances are definitely much better than the lottery. So go back to the person who got you on this call, talk about getting started. There are some more details, too, that you can go over with them. And just think about this. You know, you would not be on this call for just any reason. I definitely think you were brought here for a reason. So take a look at that. Before we get started, though, I just wanted to go back to Jen. Jen, is there anything that you would leave with somebody that maybe is taking a look at us for the very first time today and they're not too sure what they think? What would you say to them?
Well, I'll say what my husband said to me when he looked at the business model. My husband's very business-minded, you know, and he looked at the business model and he goes, you really have nothing to lose. He goes, it's $99, and if you turn around and sell those 4 wraps, you make your money back, and if you never do anything further with it, then, you know, you haven't lost anything. But look what we did with it. And, you know, so that's what I would say. You really have nothing to lose. And, you know, go for it.
I agree. And I just wanted to give a little shout-out to Catherine. She was not able to get on the call today. She was having some technical issues with her phone, but we miss you, Catherine, and we'll talk to her next week. And Jen, oh, my goodness, thank you so much for getting on the call. I know that this has definitely impacted the people who are listening to this right now and on the recording, so I thank you for your time. I hope you have an awesome weekend with your family, and I'm sure I'll see you soon.
Thank you, Caity. Thanks for inviting me. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a fantastic Saturday, and I will talk to you all next week. Bye, everybody.
Bye.